Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everyone is having a great day. I've got a story for you guys. The worst sunburn I've ever experienced was in the summer of 2011. I was about 12 years old, and my dad had to go preach at a church in Tennessee, do this week-long VBS, so he brought us along with him. The VBS didn't start until like 6 or 7 at night. So during the day, we had some time to kill. Well, it came to about the third or fourth day, and we'd kind of run out of stuff to do during the daytime. Well, there was a little girl in that church, and her name was Morgan, and I was smitten with her. I also smote her back, and shut up. We liked each other, as 12-year-olds do. Well, her mom, very nice woman, she recommended something for us to do for the day. So she said that she's done this before and it was really fun. What you do is there's a certain spot on the French Broad River where you can get a tube and you can float down the river for a bit and like 2 hours, and then you can get off at a certain point, and it's a fun way to blow a couple hours just relaxing, floating down the river for about 2 hours. So we're like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm thinking, hey, maybe maybe she'll go and she'll bring her daughter, right? She'll bring Morgan. So we get out there and we got the tubes and we've driven down there and we get out of the car, and then her and her son, Mark, get out of the car. Mark was Morgan's younger brother. Mark was a little annoying, as most like 9-year-olds are. We get out onto the river, and it's just me, my mom, my dad, my older brother, and my younger brother Billy. So we get out onto the river, and she sent Mark with us. So we got to bring Mark out there. So we start to float, and we get out there, we wave by, and we're floating down the river. And we had a good time for the first few minutes. We're splashing each other, and we're talking and laughing, saying different things. So an hour passes, and still floating, going pretty slow though. 2 hours pass, and it's getting pretty hot. We've all kind of taken turns getting off the tube and swimming a little bit, and then getting back on the tube. The water's pretty shallow, Then 3 hours pass, and we'd all taken our turns. So for the start, most of us were on our stomachs, and then they were getting really bad sunburn, so we would flip over and ride some on our backs, and then that would get sunburned. So we were like patties on a grill, just kept flipping over trying to get some relief. And we were going so slow. Like at some point I was like, Dad, we're not moving. And we got to some spots, and the water was pretty deep. I kind of picked up my hands and just kind of had them in my lap, and kind of picked up my legs too and just had them up on the tube, because murky brown water was under us, and I've seen way too many episodes of River Monsters.
River Monsters, only on Animal Planet.
And then there was some points where the water was like this shallow, and we had to get up and walk our tube to the other end. So we'd been doing this for several hours, and we were all pretty much sick of it by this point. 4 hours later, and we are still floating on this river, going very slowly. We're all burnt to a crisp. So I was ready to get out. I was ready to get out, and Carter and Billy and my mom and my dad were ready to get out. I don't think Mark was. I think Mark could have ridden it out a little bit more. He was having a blast. So my mom, she looks over at my dad, and she's like, Larry, I'm getting my babies out of the water. My dad's like, yeah, we do need to get out. We don't have our phones, we don't have our watches, we don't know what time it is, and we have to go to VBS. We see a boat ramp way off in the distance, way down the river. So whenever we get close to it, we all kind of paddle over to it. So we get off the boat ramp, and y'all, when I tell y'all that everybody in my family was about brought to tears by this sunburn, I'm not joking. So we flag down a trucker, and he gives us his phone, and we call somebody at the church, and they come pick us up. Well, we go back to our little parsonage that we were staying at, shower with cold water, and get dressed very slowly. And come church time, And the lady comes up to us, and we tell her what had happened and stuff. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about this. Whenever we went, they had just opened the dam, so the water, was flowing." Oh, and I was in a canoe. I didn't even think about that. 4 hours. 4 hours. We were fried. We were the fried and the furious. But we didn't tell her that because she was a nice lady. And so, needless to say, we didn't let that woman make our schedule for the rest of the week. But, yeah. It's the worst I've ever been sunburned in the history of ever. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the story. Go ahead and like it if you did like it, and subscribe if you're new here so you can get notified next time I drop a video. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.